Yay. I certainly do honest reviews, but I do because I have no affiliate links and I don't make a dime regardless of what someone buys. But I wanted to make this video in light of the legendary, as I called it, Nikon D850, which came out. The nice bulky beast. It even has a flagship level build quality inside, as the teardown indicates. So even though it looks like another plastic wonder box from Thailand, and it is from Thailand, the build quality is supreme. And I have no problem with big cameras. I actually love big cameras. There's a je ne sais, excuse me, I'm about to butcher those words, excuse me. A je ne sais quoi that does not exist with any Nikon, well, except for maybe the Nikon D3, D4S. That does not exist with Nikon. That my favorite camera of all time, if I exclude my film cameras, which I fell in love with, I still have like erotic dreams about my, not literally, about my 6.7 Pentax pair. God, those are huge brass bodies. My favorite digital camera of all time, and still remains to be, the Fujifilm X-T2. Fujifilm does not give me anything. They did give me a couple free hats and a t-shirt. I don't think that counts though. Favorite camera of all time, and it's like, well, how could that be the case? Let's just put this next to the Nikon D850. There is no doubt that Nikon has a crap, and Fujifilm will admit this, there's no doubt that Nikon has a crap load more glass, including some big, heavy, hardcore glass. I mean, this is the camera in a monopod with a 400mm f4 or 600mm f4 that you drag to the Super Bowl. Not a Fujifilm, sure as hell not a Sony. Fujifilm would not deny that either. Those are not just my words. This is not the camera, the X-T2, that has the incredible, like if you're shooting seedy, dark club scenes, not that the Fujifilm cannot perform marvelously there, it just cannot step to a Nikon D500 or the D850. It's just no, it's like, which camera is it? We're going to go shoot like a dark armpit club. You know the ones I'm talking about. The music is thumping. You can't see crap. Well, I am going to, it's like someone's on stage, I'm going to grab the 300mm phase Fresnel with a really expensive lens, which I happen to have, and I'm going to mount it on this D850, and I'm going to slam it. I'm not going to grab for the Fuji. So, like, how could this be your favorite camera of all time? Well, the only analogy that I could think of, and I certainly don't have any money like he does, is like Jay Leno, who's got, like, all the money in the world, and he owns like 10,000 cars or something like that. You're like, what's his favorite car? Because the guy owns Lamborghinis, Porsches, Bentleys, and some of the most exotic cars, excuse me, that money can buy. It's like, why are his favorite cars like some of these? And I'm not calling the X-T2 like a steam-powered car, a steam-powered camera. It's like, you know, they have a quality about them that endears them to you. The versatility, the support. Of course, Jay Leno doesn't have support on like 100-year-old cars, obviously. So the analogy ends there. So how could a camera that has nowhere near as much glass, doesn't have the buffer, nor has the low-light performance of a Nikon be your favorite camera? And the answer to that is easy, is the je ne sais quoi of what Fujifilm is and what the hell this camera is. This is about as bloody honest as I can make a review. And of course this is my review, it's not your review. Because I've had a lot of X-T2 people. I say, oh my god, the D850 is obviously amazing. You know, should I sell my X-T2? God, don't sell your X-T. I never tell anybody to sell anything. I don't know how I got cornered into doing so many gear reviews. To be God's honest truth, because I've got hundreds of light mod, do-it-yourself stuff. I love talking about lighting, but every time I make videos on lighting, people go, they love gear reviews, so I kind of got hornswoggled. That's a southern term, by the way, hornswoggled. Kind of got forced into doing all the gear reviews. And, you know, I used to fix the gears and sold the gears at several camera stores, and, you know, so it's not like I'm not good at it. I do better reviews than the other people that are paid shills with affiliate links, but what does the X-T2, for example, have? Now that I mentioned its deficiencies against Nikon, being buffer, glass, and low light performance, what does it have that the Nikon D850 or D500 doesn't have? You have eye autofocus, which I've only used a few times. So you have eye autofocus. You have phase detect autofocus. The versatility of using like old, cheap, awesome lenses, like old M42 lenses. Well, a lot of M42s can't be mounted on a Nikon because they'll actually hit the mirror. at infinity when the rear element juts back and, end up damaging your camera. Ever, do you know how many firmware releases Nikon drops for their cameras? Like, unless there's an issue, Nikon ain't never dropping firmware. Fujifilm has just announced, like last week, that they're dropping firmware that's going to double the autofocus speed and continuous autofocus on the X-T2 and X Pro 2. Isn't that amazing? Double it. The styling is off the hook. There is no doubt, and I think Ted Forbes copied me. Someone said today, and I went to go look at Ted Forbes' most recent video. He made it like 2 days ago, apparently, and he was talking about his X Pro 2. In the first 30 seconds, the first words out of his mouth were exact copy of what I've said. And he said, and I don't watch Ted Forbes' movie. I mean, he is a nice, awesome guy. I think he's like a normal guy. I would probably have a coffee with him. I doubt he'd want to have a coffee with me, but anyway, he said that currently Fujifilm is making the best cameras, bar none. And those are the exact words I've like repeated endlessly. So apparently he must be watching my videos, unless he came up with that on his own. I think he took that from me, but nevertheless, it's definitely the truth. The styling is off the hook, the versatility. I absolutely love this. I got a couple of them. X-T2 is my favorite digital. I'm not going to talk about film cameras. I would still shoot 4x5 chrome, but the only problem with that is that 4x5 chrome is like $6 a sheet. I used to process my own 4x. That stuff is magical. Wow, that stuff is magical. That stuff will melt your crotch. Wow. Most of you have never even seen a 4x5 chrome. Wow. Anyway, my favorite camera of all time, digital, is absolutely the X-T2. So, that's really as explicit as it gets. Anytime I've hit the door to go, like, fly to Chicago or to Minnesota recently, I grabbed the X-T2, I head down to Florida, I just grab my X-T2. Take the lens off of it, stick a body cap on it, you got a nice little, rectangular brick. My own little self-created hand strap there. Fujifilm should actually make this hand strap. It's really, really awesome. Everybody keeps asking me where the hell I bought it. It's like, I didn't buy it. I've made like a dozen of them. Don't ask me to make one because it actually takes too long to make one. I guess that's it. I really wanted to say that because in light of the D850, which is absolutely incredible. That's what people don't understand. They go everything off of specifications. And this is the same sort of stupid mistake people make with Sony. The people that switch to Sony, and I don't give a damn who switches to Sony, the phony, they go off specifications. Like, well, the Sony has X more megapixels, got 10,000 autofocus. Well, it's good. It's a piece of crap. It's got no support. It'll be obsolete in 6 months. No firmware updates. Design flaws. The ergonomics are horrible. Horrible on Sony cameras. People just look at specifications. They go down the list. This is Sony's the best. It's like you can't go off specifications. That's like dating a hot chick based upon her measurements. It's like she's got some incurable diseases. It's like, well, I went off the specifications of her body measurement. She's so hot. It's like, yeah, well, don't kiss her. You might catch something incurable. There's a perfect analogy for Sony. The hot chick with incurable diseases. It's like, oh, that really is the perfect analogy. The hot chick with incurable diseases. A new definition for Sony cameras. Oh, God, I hope nobody from Sony is watching me say that. So anyway, Fujifilm X-T2 is my favorite digital camera of all time to date. It's like, well, what about the X100F? Also incredible. That's actually the camera I would prefer to grab most of the time. I mean, leaf shutter, simple, joystick, faster autofocus. Love. Love, love, love. The best straight out of camera of any other Fujifilm. Obviously, it's got the fixed lens, so. X100F is incredible. I talked to Bill Gekas. That's its main working tool. Is the X100F. Totally stealth, totally silent, just high-speed sync with everything. The X100F is magical. Nevertheless, my favorite digital camera is definitely the X-T2. Now, I know that Fujifilm, and I know what they're going to do. It won't be for 2018, but they'll announce it later in 2018. It's pure speculation. It'll be proven 100% right. In late 2018, they'll announce the XT3, and it will, I don't know what the sensor will be, but I know it'll have touch screen, it'll have touch autofocus, vastly improved. Not that the hell it's fast enough on the XT2. There'll be a lot of improvements. It'll probably have the Pro Video integration that the XTS, which would be a Pro Video version of the XT2, which will drop next year. So, anyway, that is my favorite camera, the XT2. But like I said, this is my video review. It's not your video review. You know, I disagree. You know, the D850 is awesome. You know, you just said it was. I was like, yeah, it is, but you know, you can't judge a camera solely based upon specifications. You know, because that's the way people like Sony fanboys work. Well, we got more megapixels than autofocus points. Sony is superior. Yeah, except it's got design flaws, ergonomics. They don't fix them. They obsolete them in 9 months. It's got no glass. It's built poorly. It overheats. I could go on and on and on, couldn't I? Yeah. Tell me I'm wrong. You know I'm not wrong. Thank you so much for watching. If you like these videos, you could drop a donation in the link below. Tell me to jump off. It's like, were you just like sticking that in your ear? Yeah, I was trying to be funny. A lot of people say, you're not funny. You're trying to be funny, but you're not funny. It's like, well, good. Maybe you should go watch something the Koala Boy's making. Thank you. Goodbye. I noticed too, really ironically, that the camera, there's a lot of YouTube channels I love. I get along with them just fine. You know, I don't believe in this whole, you know, get along, go along to get along style. Kumbaya, my lord. You know, to hell with that crap. The photography channels that I respect the least, they never really ever talk about Fujifilm. That's it's like, that says a lot. That actually is more better confirmation to me than anything. It's like, if someone is not that intelligent, I mean, you know, I don't respect, you know, people can't help it. Some people are just not that intelligent, but the people that aren't that intelligent, those are the people that they just like never talk about it. They never hardly mention Fujifilm unless it's a new product, and they'll do a quick, really quick review, and they'll never mention it again. I find that very telling. That says so much to me. I would actually be worried if it were just opposite the case. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.